Welcome back. And with me is Paith Philemon. How are you doing, Paith?
I'm doing well. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
exciting to have you on the show today.
Exactly.
So as you know, our show is all about the youth. And, I think we met at a Link STEM event.
Indeed, indeed.
Yeah, you saw one of our students that were flying the drone and you beelined right over and checked her out. And so we really
Exactly.
appreciate you representing and coming out to show us some love. And the one thing that I learned from there was you have this incredible technology input, right? So we're going to talk all about your education, your career, and your lifestyle. So why don't we start with what you do today?
Yeah.
What do you do for your career?
Well, I am 2 years into my career track after graduating college, and I am a developer/engineer for a very big United Health Group company in Minnesota and around the globe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I know many people that work for your organization. So what do you, besides being a software developer, what type of languages or what area that you can share without divulging company secrets, of course?
Definitely.
What type of technology do you use in your job?
I'm fortunate enough to work with the latest emerging technologies like artificial intelligence, natural language processing, deep learning, machine learning. And I'm particularly into the Python programming language that I could work with many packages and build products and apps.
Wow. And working in the healthcare industry, what you do is absolutely very important. I mean, you have to make sure that either the reporting is happening or if it feeds back into some medical situation, I would imagine, right?
Definitely. We do work with HPI, which is very sensitive information of patients. So we are working to help improve the lives of our patients.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
So when you were younger, like let's say middle school, did you envision that you'd be working as this big IT professional and engineering professional?
I didn't. No one would have told me, and I wouldn't have never guessed as well. I had other aspirations and dreams and in the arts area.
Yeah, fantastic.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, we all have different pathways and careers to where we get. So when you started, what was the transition? So if you wanted to be in the arts, and we'll talk a little bit about that, but what made you swerve to go into the technology? Was it the money? Was it the opportunities? Share a little bit about how you ended up and your education to get into where you're at today.
Definitely. So I graduated with 2 majors, one in medical illustration, and then the other was business MIS. I originally wanted to be a medical illustrator. That was in my heart. I thought it was set in my heart. But I knew I had to do more. I wanted to give back. And so I thought, where do I want to be in 5 to 10 years? How can I improve other people's lives? Took a coding course and set sail from there.
Wait, this artistic person went and took a coding course and never came back.
Never came back. I actually took along my medical illustration, and I said I will do both.
Wow, that's fantastic. Because like medical illustration, I wonder if even people know that is actually a track.
It is actual track.
Yeah.
You can go to medical school. You can go to graduate school as well.
Wow.
Becoming a design student.
And the reason why I ask, we have a lot of students who want to go into healthcare, and I am sometimes short for answers.
Yeah.
But here's yet another perfect example of how you can actually use your artistic talents. So for those artistics,
Yep.
you can do both.
You can do both. You can hone all your talents, and you can do both.
So besides, I detect the artistic side being drawing. Do you have any other artistic areas? I mean, are you in other areas of art?
Such as like blogging and social media. Those are the types of arts.
Because
where
I see you on
practice.
social media all the time. So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about that, how you take your art and then you actually use social media to your advantage.
Definitely. I use social media to my advantage as a blogger and as a model. So I will freelance model and use my site to write about what I'm doing to the community and how I'm using my talents to give back.
Fantastic. Do you think we can share that with the public?
Yeah,
Your
sure.
links, fantastic. So we'll
Exactly.
make sure we edit that in.
Perfect.
So now we've talked a little bit about education, a little bit about your career, and all those fascinating things. It's just amazing that you have been able to get to all these wonderful things packaged. Lifestyle. So what do you do for fun, or what do you want to do that you're building towards with your career and all this money that you're making and all the artistic and branding? Tell us a little bit about what your future is and what you do to have fun?
What I like to do to have fun is I'll travel, of course, but what really helps me sleep at night is pushing STEM and meeting as many folks as I can, but also knowing that I came from nothing, so if I can contribute and volunteer in areas such as Feed My Starving Children or Coder Dojo, where I'll give a few hours of my time in the weekend to help kids learn to code and get them involved in that. So I guess going back to my career track, I push my my career goals and I make sure that I'm impacting others.
Yeah, well, I want to loop back a little bit to Coder Dojo and some of the other giving back that you do, because that's something that's, I think, very important to you. How important is diversity in your field? You know, because is it about, I mean, for me, I've had examples where I'm like the only person of color, and I'm very, you know, I'm not even that color. I mean, I'm on the beige end of the spectrum. Have you found yourself in like a room and you're the only person of color, like hundreds of people?
All the time.
And so how important is diversity to you and your technology?
Diversity and inclusion is super important because I want to open up doors as well, because I didn't open up my door on my own, somebody helped me get there. And so I want to see more folks such as like myself in the board meetings that I'm in, but it also doesn't hinder me. It just means that I need to work harder to make sure that other people are getting the opportunity as I am.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's kind of the foundation of what the Minnesota STEM Partnership is about. And we actually have a program that runs through the Twin Cities now called Power Up IT, backed by Minnesota State. And that singular point is the initiator for both of those efforts. Obviously, Power Up IT, we're going to serve state of Minnesota, but Minnesota STEM Partnership is focused in on that diversity objective. So I applaud you for your vision there. Now, you also have another initiative, right? Can you share again the initiative that you were?
Yeah, so I'm the co-founder of a nonprofit started here in Minnesota alongside my business partner, and we are a community of students, mentors, and leaders focused on making sure that the youth are empowered and getting involved and getting AI and Python, all of that incorporated in their school curriculum.
Absolutely. And I think, you know, one of the campaign promises from the governor was that they were going to start to include STEM as just a natural thing.
Right.
So I hope that your organization actually is, I know it's going to be wildly successful. Yes. And do you want to just shout out the website real quick?
Yeah, definitely. thefuturesacademy.org is, again, a network that fosters emerging technologies to younger students.
So we have a good partnership coming up down the road.
Exactly. We have the same agenda.
Yeah, and that's the beautiful thing about it. You know, we're all pursuing similar opportunities and options for our students. And I think that the future is very bright for them with people like you out there in the community making things happen. So before we go, is there any particular topic or anything you want to share with the audience?
My only words would be to the youth in the audience, and I would just want to impact them and say that the future leaders of tomorrow are created with today. That is my final thought to them.
And I can't say anything more to that. So thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.